same as my daddy and his daddy before. I hardly ever saw granddaddy down here. Only come to town about twice a year. Buy 100 pounds each, chance of copper line. Everybody knew that it made moonshine. Now the revenue man wanted granddaddy bad, headed up a Harlem and everything he had. For my time life been told, never come back to Copperhead Road. In a big black dice, bought at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff painted on the side. Shot a coat of primer, then looked inside. Where him and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumble in the sand. And then the sheriff came around in the middle of the night. His mama crying that something wasn't right. He's headed down to Knoxville with a weekly load. You can smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. Hup! 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 Drive a white trash first round here and away. Done me 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. I came home, I had a brand new plane. Hot taxi from Colombia, Mexico. Land her up a holler down Copperhead Road. DA's got a chopper in the hair, wake up screaming like I'm back cool there. I learned a thing or two from Charlie, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhead Road. Thank y'all. Hey, pretty baby, are you ready to meet? Get your good rockin' daddy down in Tennessee. Just stand off some Bible San Antonio, the radio blasting and the bird on. There's a speed trap over in South Town. Local yoga gonna shut me down. Me and the boys got this rig unwound and we come 1,000 miles from a guitar town. Looking at the rapper in my hometown, I ain't pretending to just hang around. Someone calling my name one day, I followed that voice down a lost highway. Everybody tell me you can't get far on $37 in a tap guitar. Watch! Now smoking in a Texas with a hammer down, rocking little combo from a guitar too.
the boards, I'm a brand new man. Back to the riser to make my stand. Head through the pavement, won't you hold me tight? Loading up and rolling down to here tonight. One of these days gonna settle down. Get back with me to a guitar jam.
Steve Earle. Latest CD is called Terraplane. Out on New West Records from New York City, Mr. Steve Earle.
Well, I took a stroll on the old long walk of a day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk of a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, tell me what would you do? Because her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl around a Salthill prom with a Galway girl. Halfway there when the rain came down of a day, she asked me up to a flat downtown of a fine soft day. And I asked you, man, tell me what would you do? Cause her hair's black and her eyes were blue. So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl. And I lost my heart to a Galway girl. Now when I woke up, I was all alone. I had a broken heart and a ticket home. And I ask you now, tell me what would you do? Ha! If her hair's black and her eyes are blue. Cause I travel around, I've been all over this world. Boys, I ain't never seen nothing like a Galway girl. Thank you so much. I'm a bad dream. Not a nightmare, I'm too pretty for that. Let's just say I'm the last thing you wanna see coming. I'm the reason they say watch your back. But for so long I was like a wounded hound backed into a chain link fence. The
Well, the law was just one big mean kid poking me through the fence with a stick. Ain't nobody going back. Takes a whole lot of hurt. Yeah, their lives, one of life's biggest lessons, ain't got nothing to do with deserve. Just pray to the saint lost cause. Now, it's a cruel world, ain't hard to understand. See, you got your sheep, you got your shepherds, you got your wolves amongst men. It can be hard to tell. You might find a wolf in shepherd's clothes. Yeah, and every now and then you're gonna find sheep in amongst all them troubled souls. Most folks are afraid of the wolf, but if you really stop to think, throughout time between a wolf and a shepherd, who you reckon has killed the most sheep? Nah, there's nothing can be done. It's just the way it goes. First you get bad, then you get mean, and there's nothing left but to grow cold. And pray to the saint of lost causes. Some say I got no feeling, no heart, surely no shame. Truth is, I've been this way so long. I must admit, I kinda like the pain. Do you ever have? But again, how many wolves you ever seen? You got about as much chance to seeing one of them as you do running into me. But still, don't take nothing for granted. You might live on the best block in Beverly Hills. Just be sure and lock up tight at night, 'cause poor folks ain't got nothing to steal. Just pray to the saint of lost causes.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Willie for inviting me as usual. I've only missed a couple of Farm Aids, and one of them I was in jail, so that one doesn't count. So. I think I may have played this here before, but
My name's Johnny Pettimore. Same with my daddy and his daddy before. Hardly ever saw a granddaddy out here. Only come to town about twice a year. 100-pound east since a copper line. Everybody knew to make moonshine. Now the revenue man when the granddaddy fed, headed up a holler and everything had. For my time, well, I've been told, never come back from Copperhead Road. Daddy run a whiskey in a bed like Dodge. Falling an auction at the Mason Line. Shines and candy share painted on the side. Shot a quarter primer and it looked inside. Well, him and my uncle tore the engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. When the sheriff come around in the middle of the night, heard mama crying the sun wasn't right. Heading down the nozzle with a weekly load, smell of whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. Birthday. That white trash first round here and away. Out on 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Yeah, when I come home, had a brand new plan. I'll take seed from Colombia and Mexico. I'll plant her up a holler down Copperhead Road. Got a chopper in here. Wake up screaming like I'm back over there. One thing or two for Charlie Lonely Doe. Better stay away from Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Thank you so much.
Pittsburgh rolling down the eastern seaboard. I got diesel wound up, she run like never before. This beat's on her head, alright. I ain't seen a cop all night. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. I got my 10 forward gears in a Georgia overdrive. Taking little white pills and my eyes are open wide. I'm just past the Jimmy and White. I've been smoking everything inside. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Now it seems like a month since I kissed my baby goodbye. I could have had a lot of women, but I'm not like some other guys. I can find one to hold me tight, but I can never make believe it's alright. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. Rock
smoke a rolling black is cold. Well, my hometown's coming inside. Do you think I'm happy, right? 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. I remember holding on to you. All them long and lonely nights I put you through. Somewhere in there, I'm sure I made cry. But I can't remember if we said goodbye. But I recall all of them nights down in Mexico. One place I may never go in my life again. Was I just off somewhere, just too high? But I can't remember if we said goodbye.
I break down and cry, 'cause I can't remember if we said goodbye.
But I recall all of them nights down in Mexico. That's one place I'll never go in my life again. Was I off somewhere, maybe just too high? But I can't remember if we said goodbye. But I can't remember if we said goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain. Will the nights fall long and the morning's warm and the morning's warm with the lights of love, and you'll miss sunrise if you close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain.
Lady's with me now, since I showed her how to lay her lily hand in mine. Loop and Lil agree, she's a sight to see and a treasure for the poor to find. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I'd swim the seas for to ease your pain.
Up this morning to look around all like that. These days I've been looking in a mirror and wondering if that's me looking back or not. I'm still the apple of my mama's eye. I'm my daddy's worst fears realized. Real estate don't seem all that real to me sometimes. Back out on that road again, turn this beast into the wind. Parallels and breaking men, I'm ever kind, I'm ever kind. What's his name? Says, man, what the hell are you thinking about? Ooh, you got to everything, but you hang your head just like you were down and down. Damn sure not suffering from a lack of love. There's plenty more where that came from. I'll leave it up to me to say something wrong. It hurt someone before I'm done. Back out on that road again, turn this beast into the wind. Parallels that break the bend, I'm in See, I was really free, didn't need no gasoline to run. Oh, you could say Jack Kerouac to turn your back and I'd be gone. Yeah, but nowadays I got my 2 good wheels. I'll seek refuge in aluminum and steel. Yeah, takes me out there for a little while. Many years far away and then back out on that road again. Turn this beast into the wind. There are those that bring you in. I'm the other kind. Yeah, I'm the other kind. I'm the other kind. Thanks. I was born with Papa's son, wandering out a smoking gun. Now some of you have lived through me and light me up, throw away the key. Or just find a place to hide away and hope that I just go away. I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. I bring you precious contraband and ancient tales from distant lands. Conquerors and concubines, conjurers from darker times. Betrayal and conspiracy, sacrilege and heresy. I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. Yeah, I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. Got everything you want and need, your darkest fear, your fondest dream. I ask you questions, tell you lies, criticize and sympathize. But be careful what you wish for, friend. I've been to hell and now I'm back again. And I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. Yeah, I feel alright. I feel alright tonight. Yeah, I feel alright. Yeah, I feel alright.
I think.
Yeah.
It's, you know, reality doesn't rhyme. And so it's, sometimes I think that song's more autobiographical now than it was when I wrote it. And so there are some people that'll approach it from that standpoint. And I've done, worst thing about having a record out is I have to do interviews, and people always want to know where songs come from. And that gets to be sort of a strange thing sometimes, because sometimes I have a hard time pinpointing exactly why and how songs came about.
Yeah. You went from massive critical commercial success in the mid-80s with Guitar Town and Copperhead Road to not recording for almost 5 years and eventually doing some time in prison. What happened?
I'm a heroin addict, it's real simple. And the same thing happened to me that happens to all heroin addicts. I got away with it for a long time, something that I messed around with since I was 13 years old. And what I do for a living, it was a little more socially acceptable. And there's a lot of people in any other normal or so-called normal walk of life. There's like money will dictate that you reach some sort of dead end earlier than I did, and money wasn't a problem. And also, it's just as long as I was making records and showing up for shows, nobody seemed to mind very much. And it finally did what it always does. I just finally reached a point where it was a full-time job to get drugs, and so there wasn't any time to make records anymore.
Was prison rougher than you expected?
It's I don't recommend it. I don't look that good in orange for one thing, and nobody does it. You put a bunch of people in orange under fluorescent lights, and
so how did you turn the corner? Was there a point when you decided this is killing me?
No, they locked my ass up.
Prison was the
that
turning
was
point.
basically it. And so I got involuntarily straight for the first time, and the fog tends to clear. And I don't know at what point my lawyer made arrangements for me to go to treatment from jail with no guarantees that I'd be released from jail. And something happened, and I don't really know what it was, but at some point I decided that I didn't want to die. It was that simple.
You're the only person I've ever heard described as a serial husband. What is it, 5 or 6 marriages?
There's 6, but 2 of them are to the same person, so I'm not sure whether that counts.
Well, it's like Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. They did it a couple of times. Are you
Well,
still looking for love, or you
Sure,
found it?
Well, Lou and I, our divorce didn't work out, so we kind of had to get married again. It was just, we got kind of a house full of kids, too, so.
So what's your recovery program? I understand you're working with addicts. Is that important? Do you have to stay completely sober, or?
I don't drink, because that'll just make me want something else. I mean, I always considered, I didn't drink very much for years before I stopped doing heroin, because I just considered it to be a relatively inefficient drug. And I drank sometimes when I was in England, because I like the beer here, and sometimes in Ireland.
Well, you were hanging out with the Pogues, weren't you? So I imagine you couldn't, just stick to a spritzer and a packet of pork
scratches. That came under the heading of research. That's like,
home in both camps.
Country singer, because I'm always going to talk like this, but I haven't been really a country singer in a long time, as far as the people that market my records, and I don't really identify with what's going on in Nashville now, and haven't in a long time. And if Garth Brooks is a country singer, then I'm definitely not.
Elvis almost recorded one of your songs, didn't he, in your early days in Nashville?
Yeah, I don't care if he is dead. I'm still mad about that.
What happened?
It cost me a lot of money.
Did he miss his early alarm call, or what?
It was that sort of deal. My first producer, Tony Brown, was the piano player in his band at the time. That's why I know for a fact. I had heard rumors that he almost recorded the song for years, and then when Tony and I were working on Guitar Town, he confirmed it, which I almost wish he hadn't. It made me physically ill, but the song was the first song up on the session. The band had already rehearsed it, and Elvis just never left the hotel and came to the studio. And that was in '75, and he never recorded it again, and he was dead 2 years later. So.
You saw the Sex Pistols in Texas when Sid was bleeding everywhere and hitting people. How was that? Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything from the Sex Pistols in Texas?
That gig was was 3 blocks from where I grew up, literally. And I was actually in Austin the night of the gig, and I was living in Mexico. And some friends of mine said that they were playing in San Antonio, and we ran down to see the gig. But I could have told you he was going to get hurt in that place. I used to play there.
Well, he got really hurt at the end of the day, of course. Okay, thanks, Steve.
This is called the Harlem River Blues. The Harlem River to drown. Dirty water gonna cover me over. I'm not gonna make a sound. I'm on the road, mama, I gotta go. Gotta get there while I still can. Troubled days are behind me now. Know they're gonna let me in. If you see me walking up FDR Drive, just singing and clapping my hands. Mama, I love her, tell my daddy I try to give my money to my baby to spend. Cause Lord, I'm going uptown to the Harlem River to drown. troubles just swallowing whole, even though it knows what's at stake. I'm taking no chances, carrying over while I'm still putting His grace. 'Cause I'm no fool, mama, I know the difference between choosing my fate. But I'm going uptown to the Harlem River to drown. Dirty water gonna cover me over, and I'm not gonna let the sound. Gonna cover me over, and I'm not gonna make a sound. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, the Oak Ridge Boys. From the Earle.
It's an old song of mine, but it's a lot of people heard this song when I first wrote it. They said it's a gun control song, and I would argue with them. We talk about gun control a lot in the United States because we, think it's a good idea for people to be able to run around with whatever sort of ordinance they want in a lot of our states. And could you imagine if there were, if everybody had a gun at a football match in this country? It's just not a good idea. When I wrote it, I would argue with people about that because when I wrote this song, I had a whole trailer full of guns. I mean, I grew up in Texas and hunting and fishing, and I didn't see anything incongruous about being a peacenik with an arsenal in his house. But about 17 years ago, I had to sort of start my life over, and one of the first things that happened after I got clean and got out of jail is I was handed an out-of-control teenage boy. My ex-wife just said, "Here, you might have met him." And so the first thing Justin did when he got in my house was, as soon as my back was turned, he went in my bedroom and he found the pistol that I kept hid under my mattress for home protection in my house in the country in Tennessee. And he hid it from me, and he wouldn't tell me where it was. And I knew he was lying. Couldn't get him to admit it, couldn't get him to tell me where the gun was. And you're not doing your best parenting at 4.5, 5 months clean. So the only thing I could come up with was to make sure he was where the gun wasn't. So I called my brother, and he came over, and we strip searched him, made sure he did not have the gun on his person. And then we loaded him in the car, sort of like trying to load a live deer up, And we took him to a wilderness camp, they call it, a place out in Hickman County, Tennessee, where they send kids that are in trouble and make them sleep in tents. And I'm not proud of this. I'm pretty sure they were hiring them out for slave labor to the state. Now, it was January, so 4 o'clock the next morning, he called and told me where the gun was. And for my part, what I learned is I haven't had a gun in my house since. So now when I sing this, it's a gun control song. About the time that Daddy left to fight the big war, saw my first pistol in a general store. I was 13, thought it was the finest thing I ever had seen. As if I could ever something when I grew up. Mama dropped a dozen, and she really blew up. Didn't understand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand. Devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand.
my first pistol's a cap and ball coat. Shoot as fast and lightning, but you load 'em my slow. Load 'em my slow. Soon I found that get you into trouble, but you can't get yet. Then I went and got myself a Colt 45. Called a peacemaker, but never knew why. Never knew why. Didn't understand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand. I got into a car, came in a company town. Called a minor cheating and I shot the dog down. Shot the dog down. Watch him man fall. Never touched his hose and never had a chance to draw. Trials in the morning and the drum man out of bed. Asked me how I pleaded, not guilty, I said. Not guilty, I said. Got the wrong man. Nothing touched the trigger but the devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. The devil's right hand. Nothing touched the trigger but the devil's right hand. Mama says a pistol is a devil's right hand.
Thanks.
Fired us all, and then we thought about Jonathan's jam sessions in Laurel Canyon. That led us to Jackson Browne. That led us to this next song, a huge hit that we have never done as a finale before because it's a huge hit. But here it is. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here in E-Town.
Well, I'm running out of road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. Oh, they wanna own me too. They wanna stone me once. Says a friend of mine. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up where you still can. Don't even try to understand. Till we find a place to stand. Take it easy. Well, I'm standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we'll never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. Take it easy.
Yeah, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind. Lord, I'm looking for a lover who won't blow my cover. She's just a little hard to find. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy.
Jonathan Wilson, Steve Earle, The Tones, along with Justin Hoffenberg and Helen. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Hi, this is Nick Forster from E-Town. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.
Copperhead Road. My daddy ran a whiskey in a big black Dodge. All of that nonsense at the police's Dodge. Johnson County Sheriff band on the side. Shot a cool primer in the road side. Where him and my engine down. I still remember that moment. Then the sheriff came around in the middle of the night. I heard mama crying and something wasn't right. Sitting down a nozzle with a weekly load. You could smell a whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. Volunteered for the army on my birthday. And a white dress brushed down here. I done 2 tours of duty as beat man. I came home, I had a brand new plane. I'll take the seat from Colombia, Mexico. I just planted up a holler down Copperhead Road. Now the DA's got a chopper in the air and I wake up screaming like a backhoe nerd. I learned a thing or two, Charlie, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road.
Thank you, sir. Come on over here. Nice to see you, Steve. Have a seat right here. Steve Earle, ladies and gentlemen. What do you got there?
This is a mandolin.
That is an electrified mandolin.
Yeah, it's got a little pickup in it.
And is that like a combination of a guitar and a violin, or is that a dumb question?
Nah, it's a real dumb question.
Thank you very much. But what is the origin of the instrument? It's an ancient...
I think mandolins come from Italy originally.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of instruments that came over to this country in violins and ended up being called fiddles.
All right.
Still called these mandolins, but this is a pretty traditional.
How many strings does
country.
that have on it?
8. They're doubled. It's 4 strings doubled, like a 12-string guitar.
And playing that, would you be able to play a violin, do you think?
It's the same. It's exactly the same fingering as the violin, but I never played mandolin until I wrote this song. And I wrote it on mandolin. I happen to have one laying around the house, so nobody can tell me I'm playing it wrong because I wrote it.
No, it sounded fine to me. Yeah, it sounded good to me. You at one time did you write a song that Elvis Presley recorded, or what happened there exactly?
I wrote a song that Elvis Presley didn't record.
Well, hell, I've done that.
Basically, what happened was I had this song. They were getting ready to do a record on Elvis. This was like I was about 19. It was in '74 when I first came to Nashville. And they were getting ready to do like a little bit more of a, just a rock and roll record. Basically, just real simple. This was a 3-chord rockabilly song. And it was kind of weird. Tony Brown, who produces my records now, was in Elvis's band at the time. And evidently, he was going to record in Nashville for the first time in years, and the musicians had all learned the song. It was the first song up on the session. And I never had a cut before, and my publisher was starting to get nervous, and I was starting to get nervous because my option was coming up. And I was sitting around the office waiting to hear that they'd recorded the song, and Elvis came into town and checked into the hotel, but never quite made it to the studio, and he never recorded again. And I was,
Were you paid for the song at all?
No, it was just they had the song up. You gotta get played on the radio to get paid. I was mad at him for years after he died, even.
I understand some of the proceeds from some of the revenue you generate with your records and videos or so forth going to a foundation for
homeless children, because even if you think that no one goes homeless through no fault of their own, there's no way you can blame it on the kids.
Okay.
You call 1-800-56-CHILD, and it's Fearless Hearts for Homeless Children.
Good for you. Thank you very much for being here. Good night, everybody.
Mike from earlier in the series. Well, this is